At this point, you're more likely to be more successful as a rapper than being an NFL head coach. Baltimore Ravens just proved why. So the Baltimore Ravens have departed from head coach Jon Harbaugh. He's been fired. He's been with the organization for 18 years, won a Super Bowl. After being eliminated from the playoffs in a classic game against my Pittsburgh Steelers by a missed field goal, the Baltimore Ravens record was 8-9. And I think the Ravens just finally said they're going to have to move in another direction. Lamar Jackson was extremely frustrated in his post-game interview. Some dude by the name of Jameson, man, was pressing him about it. And you could just tell, like, I mean, no matter how angry you are, you know if you want someone to be your head coach. And I just could tell, that was the end. Coach Harbaugh wasn't the only coach that got fired this week. As a matter of fact, Pete Carroll for Las Vegas Raiders got fired. Raheem Morris for the Atlanta Falcons got fired after just winning the game. And it was footage of him hugging the owner, Arthur Bland, and, some other people. And he got fired a couple hours later. And also Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski was fired as well. And this is just so rough, man, because it's like when you're a public figure, and especially an NFL head coach or just a college coach, man, these people see how much you make, they see your salary, and the whole world knows when you get fired. So that's a lot to deal with. However, it's what you sign up for. Mike Tomlin was interview with Rich Eisen. It was a great interview, and he was talking about how, the culture now isn't really too fond of giving coaches like longevity. It's not a lot of patience anymore. If you're not winning at a substantial rate or close to winning, you on the clock, and it's just like with players now, how players can be replaced. It's the same with coaches. Now, in Coach Jon Harbaugh's defense, he really shouldn't feel any type of way. I mean, 18 years is a long time. I mean, you might as well say 2 decades. You might as well round it up, and him and Mike Tomlin made so much history with that rivalry, and it was already projected that both of their jobs was on the line at that game. Some people say Mike Tomlin might have saved his job by winning this past weekend, against the Ravens. Me personally, I don't think he would have got fired if he had a loss, but we'll never know. But Harbaugh definitely lost his job, and because all these games have been 1 or 2 plays away, and Lamar Jackson's prime is being wasted. And he's not even the same player like the scrambler that he once was. We don't even see that side of him anymore. And they're just going in a different direction. And I mean, as much talent as the Ravens has had over the years, and you haven't even, got back to the Super Bowl, it says a lot, I really don't feel a way about it. I mean, I have no dog in the fight anyway because, I'm a Steelers guy. But at the same time, just looking at the landscape of professional sports with people betting on these players and gambling and all the pressure that just amounts on winning, we're going to see a lot more of this, man, like with these coaches being fired. I definitely think it was wise for the Ravens to do this. When I look at the Atlanta Falcons, I was kind of confused with Raheem Morris being fired. I thought maybe they could have gave him another year. I mean, because it's always something with Michael Penix, and you got Kirk Cousins. That whole dynamic, it wasn't really a lot of consistency there. So you need to get a full season with who your quarterback is before you can judge. But, I mean, he's gone, and now he got to find a new place. And in Cleveland, I'm definitely not surprised because they don't know what they're doing over there. it's so much drama. And then the owner, I was watching his press conference, and I'm just like, yo, man, this man he just seemed like a lot to deal with. I wouldn't want to be a head coach in Cleveland. And Pete Carroll, man, I always said, man, after that loss against the Patriots, I just think he should have left coaching alone. Sometimes, man, I just don't think it's some things you can rebound from. I think he can be involved in football and, the operation of a franchise, just not as head coach. So, with all that being said, man, being a head coach in the NFL is probably harder than being a successful rapper. I mean, at least as a rapper, it's still so many ways now to entertain and also be active and productive with your fan base outside of just rapping. You can be a person, personality plays a role, and, getting into other entertainment endeavors. Look at Snoop Dogg, the way he's branded himself in different facets. It's probably a demographic of people that don't even know the man as a rapper, because he's so involved in different things, and it's brought success right back to the music. But being an NFL head coach, or just a coach, period, it's literally just about the W's, man. The W's are more important than anything, and you got to get them W's by any means. No wonder Bill Belichick was out there cheating and doing whatever he could when the Patriots had that dynasty, because he know how hard it is not only to get a job in that space, to sustain one, to sustain a job in the NFL. And I mean, Jon, he's been very blessed. I mean, wherever he goes next, I doubt he's going to be having a tenure as long as he did with the Ravens. After Mike Tomlin, it's like what Rich Eisen was saying. He's like a unicorn. Like, after he's done with the Steelers, I mean, you're probably never going to see this again. Head coaches having this long of a tenure with one organization. Now, I think the Ravens and the Steelers are those type of organizations that like having whoever their coach is for a substantial amount of time. They like to give them, a good minute to, have an era. But other organizations, man, you're not that fortunate, man. And the way the fan bases are now with these teams, man, and you got social media factoring in. I mean, you lose a couple games and they already like going extreme. Like, look what happened with Dan Campbell when they lost in the playoffs. Like, he had to move because his address got leaked or something like that, and it was affecting his household. They were like trolling his daughter. Like, this winning for these teams, man, is just on another level of responsibility that these coaches have to deal with. So, in Baltimore, the Baltimore fan base deserves more, man. Like, when you got a talent like Lamar Jackson, man, like, you want to see that be displayed on the highest level and the biggest platform. Lamar Jackson ain't been to a Super Bowl yet, man. And you got Derrick Henry at running back, and he's still rushing for double-digit touchdowns and, over 1,000 yards, man. Like, all that's going to waste. So I understand, what's being taken place. But there's going to be more stories like this, man, moving forward, man. Like, you ain't got time to do nothing but win now as an NFL head coach, man. Y'all drop a comment and give me your thoughts, man, about the state of the NFL and the state of coaching and where it's headed, man. If you made this far to the video, I want to say thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the God Level Genius YouTube channel. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Rumble. Follow me on Twitch as well at God Level Genius. I am James Vergado, and as always, be God level. The genius is in you. God level genius.